So this will be the last thing that I need to do to this truck before we are completely set. We can get this thing on the road, drive it normally. And what I'm about to show you is completely out of my ability to do in the garage. But in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys an exclusive look on what it's like to professionally align offset wheels on a truck, what it actually takes and why it's so costly. After building this truck in the garage, I tried my best to get the alignment on these tires perfectly straight, but it's impossible. Unfortunately, when I drive the truck, the steering wheel is actually at a 90-degree angle. It's almost like flipped upside down. And I know what some of you guys are gonna say, the stupid chrome offset wheels, I think they're -76 or something like that. They're very wide. Here's some old shots of my wife in her first reaction when we put those wheels on the truck. So check this out really quick.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like that's more of the like real truck look.
Real truck.
It's like bro wheels.
She's not digging it, y'all.
I told you, I don't need anything different. Then you're gonna steal my truck and drive it somewhere and have fun, right? Like something I would drive?
It looks amazing. Yes, it does. It matches you very well.
Okay, the chrome looks good.
Okay, all right, we get something here.
I don't like the purple lug nuts at all.
That's not a problem. We can always change that out. I think they're cool. I like how the purple reflects off the chrome. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
She's warming up to it, guys.
the chrome looks nice. I don't like the lug nuts at all, though.
Guys, let us know, black or chrome. On a side note, if you watched the last video, I bought the cheapest Duramax that I could find on Facebook Marketplace. I already have a lot in the works. It's the same combination truck as this one. And to be honest with you, this truck looked way worse than this thing right here. So let's head over to the shop right now and see if they can align this truck and see what they think. All right guys, so I'm here at A&D Repair in Haslett, Michigan, not too far away from me, and these guys have nailed it every single time. I've actually had 3 trucks with offset, well, wide offset wheels, just like the LifeMax over here. This is David, by the way, say hi.
Hello.
David's actually gonna be aligning this monster. I don't even know how you guys got that thing on the hoist. They're like -72 offset.
Tight fit, but it fits.
And this is Roy, what do you do?
I'm COO with A&D Repair.
Awesome, and what do you guys do here?
We do a little bit of everything. We work on everything from compact vehicles to full-size Class A motorhomes. We do collision work and repair work for both of those.
And I also noticed you had a body shop outside.
Yeah, for sure. We have a body shop right next door. We have about 12 service bays over there. We have full-size paint booths where we can paint anything from, like I said, small vehicle all the way up to 53-foot tractor trailer. I
wanted to drop a big shout out to these guys because you know my style. I like to talk about hardworking American companies that highly deserve a shout out. So if you guys are interested in getting any work from these gentlemen, definitely reach out to them. I will leave that link in the description below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this LifeMax truck, the wide offset wheels, and how we're gonna dial her in, because right now it's not very desirable to drive. So he's setting up the hoist right now, just getting everything dialed in before we actually get going. However, he has been doing an inspection on the vehicle as well, just kind of looking over some of my shoddy work. He did find a few things. Nothing really much major to talk about. I can fix it on my own, like the exhaust hangers are a little too close to the frame and things like that, which I can easily fix. I already know about that. But as we continue on here, guys, as he's looking at everything, we're gonna go ahead and show you guys exactly how we're gonna go ahead and align this thing. For some of you guys running these big stupid offset wheels, trying to figure out how to start this process, obviously, I mean, you probably could do it from home, maybe use a tape measure, but you're not gonna get it right.
So pretty much what we do is we bring the vehicle on, we get it as straight as possible on the alignment rack, because we obviously want to see all 4 tires from our laser heads up here. So pretty much when we get it rolled on, we get it rolled up to right before your turning plates where your front tires are going to go, and we would get our what we call our alignment heads that go on the wheels, and we get our spacers for deep dish tires, and then We get them to where they're centered to the wheel, get it right before where we roll it, get the heads to read. Once it reads, then we run through our caster sweep, where we will steer the wheel one direction, steer the wheel the other direction, and it'll read where your caster's at. So it'll pretty much determine how far off your toe is and what your caster and camber are reading.
Now, realistically, how close can we get this old girl?
I believe I can get it right on the money.
Really?
Right on the money.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, as of right now, what are your thoughts? I kind of put this together blind. I know the steering wheel's a little crooked.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a given when you do any sort of lift normally. Yeah, normally you roll it on, get your steering wheel wherever level is to you, wherever you feel comfortable. I always want it right on the money. I don't ever want to let a vehicle leave that is not within spec.
And David, there was another thing that I don't know if you test drove it yet, but this truck is so loud, and it's not the engine, it's the tires. It's the tires. It sings, man. After this, I'm gonna take it on a test drive, and I'm hoping that this thing's gonna be a lot quieter, which I'm sure it will, and it's more room for more horsepower, right?
Absolutely.
It's not gonna be pulling us back.
Oh yes, absolutely. All right, so right now I am adjusting your passenger front tie rod. We're gonna be adjusting the wheel so it's pointing straight, as we right now have the steering wheel pointed straight as where we started. It was at a 90-degree angle to the right.
Was it really?
Absolutely.
Wow. I was way off. Now, is it possible to do this with a tape measure on the floor?
Actually, yeah, it is. As long as you have a stationary spot that you measure from, say your Chevrolet emblem in the front, you could measure from that center of it out to, say, the outer edge of the tire and measure out whatever reading you get to your steering wheel, I should say, is roughly what you want the other side to look like. Now, as for keeping the wheel as straight as possible within spec would be a little bit of a doozy. If you could find a measurement on, say, a Chevrolet format that would give you the right length you need, maybe you could run it that way. But with aftermarket wheels and tires, it'd be a little bit more harder, but I don't think it'd be too hard. It's possible. You won't get it right to where you want it. But at least you'll get it close. But you'll definitely get it close.
And you also put a little bit of tape on those kryptonite tie rods.
Oh yeah, because I love the powder coat, man. I don't want to scratch it up. Luckily you got really clean, no rust, so I don't really have to use a wrench. I can just use my hands.
Yeah, that is cool. I'm sure that's a treat for you. This is mostly what we're dealing with, you know, the rockers, corners, the boxes, stuff like that. If he was going to do an alignment on this truck, as you guys can tell, it'd be a little more challenging just because of the rust. Hey, if I was to stand in the way of that laser, would it mess it up?
Actually, it wouldn't mess it up. It's very intelligent, as it'll pick up a person. It'll pick it up, and all that'll happen, say I just come over here, say I stand in the way, I block his head. Right now, you won't get a reading from the left side. You also get a reading on the right side, so it'll always use at least one of the heads and it'll make sure that nothing moved too much. But as long as you don't shift anything while it doesn't see, it's always usually right on.
And these are the new nuts over here, I would assume?
Yep.
So we're about 2 hours in, guys, because again, things just aren't working the way they should. It's not their fault. It's actually kind of my fault. It's kind of the bolt's fault.
Well, actually, I can show you now. So pretty much how these work is you have these special bolts where they completely flat one side, and when you install them, they're supposed to go flat side like that. So when you have it in the vehicle and you go to turn this nut, it's going to turn that cam, and then there's little pins in here that cam sits on, and as you turn that bolt, it's going to ride on that pin, and it'll actually move this bushing right here in and out, which will adjust your camber and your caster. So what happened was this old one right here either had too much tension on it or just failed in general. And
well, these are actually used. Yeah, these came from the original build, and I actually, when I was pulling sleds, those were on the upper control arms.
All right, well that too, yeah. Any sort of unwanted movement that it had happened to have just rounded it out. So as I was turning, I was getting all this slop, and it just eventually rolled right over and stopped moving in general. So every time I tried to turn that bolt and tried to get your camber and caster within the spec, it just kept turning like this.
Yeah, so you were getting nothing out of it.
Yeah, I wasn't getting any adjustment. So we throw these new bolts and cambers on there, we should be able to move it finally and get some adjustment out of them. So pretty much since we did so much movement and changing that camber caster bolt, we want to re-roll the vehicle so the suspension will settle, and obviously I moved it. So right now we want to get a correct reading every time we get something changed out or moved. And
That's a lot of playing around, dude.
oh yeah, it can be a lot of work sometimes. Sometimes when they don't want to work, or sometimes when you get a rustier Michigan vehicle, you get those camber caster bolts that just tend to break.
This job
rust.
can turn into $1,000.
Oh, it could. I have seen a lot
Seriously?
turn into a lot of money. So right here we have your camber, your caster, and your toe. Your camber is going to adjust how far in and out your wheel is going to tilt. So if you're sitting in the vehicle, your wheel, camber-wise, is going to tilt like this. So right now, what we want is we want manufacturer's specifications of 0.3 positive degrees of camber. So we're going to adjust this 2 degrees less than what it is, 0.2 degrees less. This side, we're going to need to adjust a little bit more. And then with our caster, our vehicle specification will be 4.3 degrees of positive caster. But usually with lifted vehicles, we tend to have to be a little bit out of range with our caster, but we really want to really focus on our camber and our toe.
I know you were kind of talking about what the computer specifications is. Is it kind of going off the crown of the road as well? Because I know the crown kind of pitches in the road.
That's where, as a technician, you got to understand that sometimes the crown of the road will affect it, and usually you can sometimes adjust to crown of the road. You can first do your alignment, get it within factory specs, and then as soon as you go out for your test drive, if your vehicle does tend to pull, say to the right, because your crown of the road is going to be a little bit of a hump in the center, causing you to want to pull to the right, you can come back, bring it back on the alignment rack, make some adjustments, say make your camber a little bit more leaning towards against a little bit of road crown, and usually you can get it straightened out and start driving straight.
That's good to know.
There we go.
Caster's 4.3.
So what do you think, boss?
Well, we're still a little off on caster. Camber, we just got done adjusting, but after we did the rolling compensation, camber's off again. So I think we should try one more time on that side. Caster side stayed.
Turn it. It's wanting to fight that cam and try and run.
I think we're about 4 hours in on this alignment. I'm not joking. It's taking us a tremendous amount of time. And man, for some reason I thought this would be a simple process, but you know how anything goes. You know, you think you have all new parts, you think things are gonna go the way they want to. But to be honest, I think we're on the right track at this point.
Oh, we're definitely on the right track. We know where we got to go. It's just a matter of getting there is the thing.
We'll get there. I have hope. We have hope.
Absolutely.
No, we'll get there one way or another.
Oh, it's the thing. We'll get it there.
Hey, we could even take an air hammer to it. I'm just kidding.
Nah, we don't go that far.
No, okay. I would. Earl would.
No, right? For sure. No, we'll get there one way or another.
I gotta be really honest with you guys. This is a big shocker to me. I didn't realize that they were that rounded out. You had to get new cams because these are rounded out, and like you were saying, they're just spinning in there, dude. What is going on? Maybe it was just the impact, you know, just driving it in nice and tight. Maybe I walked it out. I don't know. But I've never seen that before. It's interesting. Did we get it?
Not yet, but we finally got the swing that we were looking for. Yeah.
Was it when you kind of nudged it when it went down?
Yeah, so when we were lowering the lift, it kind of fell into place a little bit.
Nice.
So we're getting closer. Yeah.
Whatever way you're going is good.
Dude, I don't care. Tighten it right now. Go ahead, tighten it right now.
But if I move, I'm loosening. Hold on.
Run. Need you to tighten those bolts.
Tighten Trevor's and Trevor's first.
Both those bolts. Both of them? Yep. The sensor really quick, just so I can see. Roy.
Oh, my bad.
Good.
A little more. A little more.
Oh man, you might have to loosen it just a little bit. Right there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Tighten.
I'm not as tall as you boys.
Go ahead.
You're gonna have to tighten it. You're gonna have to finish tightening it from there.
Oh, sure.
So did it help? Did it get close?
tremendously did.
Nice.
It is well within spec. And we'll see if we try to match the other side as close as we can.
The other side should be a little easier. Should be a little easier.
I'm thinking so too.
Yeah, well-
I'm thinking so too. All right,
Yeah, fellas.
All right, so we just adjusted pretty much, and now
Oh,
we
I
are
see
in
green.
a lot of green.
Green means good, right?
Yes.
It means gooder.
Almost perfectly within spec, but we
Yes.
gotta roll. We gotta make a rolling compensation to make sure
Yep.
it's still accurate.
So you got to roll it. So you got to push it backwards, bring it forward.
Yep.
Can we do a rolling burnout on the hoist actually?
We could theoretically.
It's up to that big guy over there. He might like it.
Can we do a rolling burnout on the 4-post? He said we got to roll it or something.
No, we could do a rolling compensation, a rolling burnout.
Oh, rolling compensation.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That would be.
78 will be perfect.
Hey, this is America.
Right?
Maybe we should recompensate one more time now, just to make sure. Because with us just moving the tires and everything,
Oh, so now we got the bottom. Yeah.
the bottom toe,
Overcompensate.
the toe can easily be fixed. It's the camber and caster we're worried about. So I guess you want to roll it and recompensate just to make sure.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And then that'll prove our specs there.
Yeah.
So
we get the same results.
okay, let's redo it one more time.
Was this the worst alignment you guys have ever done? No.
I think me and him have spent like a week on a truck that took
A
us
week on an alignment?
forever. Oh my gosh, it took us forever. Remember that red Ford we worked on?
That was, oh my god, it's a straight axle, so you have to have the eccentric
the straight
adjust-
axle, yeah.
Yes, you have to have it on top, so you have to put them
We
at
had to do
different angles to get your different degrees. So you have to take the wheel off, pop it out, put it back in, put the wheel back on, recompensate
Was this
everything.
an F250?
I think so, yeah. I think so.
F250.
Well,
Rough.
I think it was like a 2013.
Telling you guys, I'd much rather work on IFS. I'm not saying it's better than straight axle,
I feel ya.
but at the same time, it's smaller pieces and are easier to work with.
The brake pedal depressor. About level.
So they're gonna roll it back and then roll it forward and see where they're at. That's kind of the goal here.
Man, we're not seeing that left rear target.
Left rear?
Yeah. There we go. I'm gonna restart one more time, one sec. Okay, come on forward. Perfect, right there. So that's kind of what we figured, yeah. So total toe. I guess go ahead and adjust that total toe again. So since we did the camber and caster, it knocked our total toe way out of spec. So now in the rolling compensation, now we have to make sure the total toe is at least within a reasonable amount to make sure that the alignment heads, get an accurate reading.
And we're really looking for the as close as possible.
For total toe right here. So total toe is the difference between your tires, so out versus in. So if you're towed way out, your total toe is gonna be way off. And in order to make an accurate reading, it wants at least the toe closer. So we're gonna get that total toe close as we can get to that straight in the middle, and then we'll readjust one more time.
Turn down the heat in here. I'm too fat, one or the other.
It was way out of spec after we got a camber and caster in spec, so we had to get it closer.
But Cam Cash, we're good on recount?
No, that's what we're trying to do right now.
Trying to see it.
We gotta roll it again one more time because we just did the total toe adjustment. Only if the camber and caster are perfectly within spec, all we gotta do is just tow and go drive it. After that, just
Sweet.
these tie rods, we just gotta adjust those and that's it.
And we'll do a 4-wheel drive boost launch and we'll crash into a tree.
You can do it.
I'm honestly too scared to do anything on with this truck.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't put her to the floor yet.
Come forward.
Well, obviously
just
the
a little
alignment.
bit.
A moment of truth, gentlemen.
Okay, Lee, block it.
I'm trying not to stand in front of their sensor. That's why I'm standing so far away.
Again, dang it.
I think we keep moving every time we recompensate. We keep moving it right.
It is super close. David, I think if we just adjust it a little bit.
Wow, you're like dead on it.
Nice, man. Nice job, boys.
Green, we're good.
Just a tiny bit outside spec, but really good. Yeah,
Awesome.
good job.
So we've been at this for about 6 hours now.
It's okay.
It's okay though.
It's okay. Part of doing the job is doing it right.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. We don't need no crazy redneck girls in here. We do this right. All right. Steering wheel's actually straight. Look at that. It's a miracle. Man. Well, that's good. If you guys decide to go this route where you're getting the big crazy wheels, big old mud tires, stuff like that, even a lift kit, and you expect for it to ride perfectly, like just, you know, it's not going to work out for you. I'm sorry. I've never been able to run. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in a lifted truck that actually was able to go straight down the road exactly perfect. Ever.
I haven't even.
Maybe.
I'm actually really impressed how smooth this rides. Without, I mean, I don't really know how much of a lift it's on it right
There's
now.
no lift, it's stock.
No lift? Okay. Yeah, it still rides very smooth.
But I do have the torsion
very
keys
impressed.
kicked up a little bit.
I still can't even tell.
Nice. That's awesome. Man, this is the first time Wife Max has seen rain, actually. After the paint job, anyways, and the powder coat. It's not going to affect anything, but... Them tires are loud, though.
I know, they sing.
Again, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today.
The guys nailed it.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was obviously a challenge, but hey, a win's a win, man.
That's it.
Yep.
All right, well, hopefully we'll see you again on the channel.
For sure, brother. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care, brother.
So the job took us hours to complete, as I thought, but it was definitely worth it. I'm glad they were able to dial it in with that Hunter alignment rack because it has lasers and stuff. It takes all the guesswork out of knowing exactly what's going on. But I gotta be honest with you, it's really nice to drive this thing knowing that the truck's going straight down the road and I'm not chewing up these tires. Now I may change out the wheel and tire combo eventually. I'm thinking about throwing some street tires on it so it's not so loud. I think I mentioned this before, but my wife refuses to drive this truck because it has so much horsepower. It has 2 turbos. It's crazy. She wasn't expecting me to go this far with her truck, and she's just asking me simply to put an air shutoff valve on this thing so it doesn't run away on her, which I really don't blame her for. I don't think the truck's gonna run away though. It's a fluke thing. Huge shout out to the guys at A&D Repair. I think it would be kind of cool if you decide to get any repair work done. It's in Haslett, Michigan. If you guys are in the area whatsoever, stop by, drop my name, let them know that you saw the video. I think it'd be a cool correlation, and I highly recommend these guys anyways. I've been working with them for probably about 2 years now as far as just small little things I need them to do on my truck that I can't do myself. And by the way, if you missed that last video, this is a ripper. I mean, this is... Yeah, I just went sideways. That was 50 PSI like it was nothing. These 2 RDS turbos light so quickly. Duramax Tuner did a great job tuning this truck for what it is. But definitely have more to come on the videos. Definitely subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned.